such a systematic offense, in the way they operate that although Tua is a fantastic player, he really is. The offense, Huntley can absolutely run this offense at a high level. So I think regardless of who was quarterback, we're going to face a lot of the same stuff schematically. The only real difference is Huntley's mobility. He's a guy that's a scrambler, and he'll get first downs with his legs, and we got to account for that.
Is Conklin good to go?
He's going to give it a try. He's going to push it all the way to game time.
Who else? ABT, Quinn, the guys that didn't practice?
Same as. Yep, same as.
We found out that Jamien, the team MVP.
Yes.
Obviously you coached him for a while here.
Yep.
It's pretty. I don't think we would have predicted that in August. What can you say about his season?
Just unbelievable. For a guy that wasn't the starter coming into the season, the way he responded, first of all, to the adversity of losing CJ and stepping into very big shoes, as we all know, and then to play as well as he did. It's a surprise because he had never done it, but it's not a surprise because the way this guy, he works and operates on a daily basis. You'd be hard-pressed to find a harder worker, not only in this building, any building in the NFL. A guy that's taken himself from a late-round safety convert to a legitimate linebacker in this league. And I'm just so excited for the future now for him because it's really planted seeds across the league as a guy that everybody's going to want on their team, and he's going to get rewarded for it, and he deserves every penny he's going to get.
What did you guys see in him, knowing that you wanted to convert him from safety to a linebacker? What was it about his skill set?
Yeah, like the big thing that we always look at, and I know it sounds funny, is length and arm length, and he absolutely checks that box. It's one of the top indicators for success as a linebacker historically in the NFL. And then after that, there was speed and movement and athleticism, obviously, from a guy that played the safety position in a lot of space. And then his makeup, when we got to know him a little bit, just a guy that you spend 2 seconds with this guy and he loves football and he's willing to do whatever it takes to be successful in it. So he checked all those boxes. The only thing he didn't have was experience playing the position and the necessary size at the time. Both those things, he's absolutely, he knows how to play this position at a high level now, and his size and weight are exactly what they need to be. So the future is so bright. He had tremendous success this year, but there's more in the tank for him, and I can't wait to see him realize that potential.
What about Morgan being most inspirational? And you just said he's still battling, trying to give it a go on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, here's a guy that, from a playoff perspective, obviously we're out of it and nothing to play for in that respect. A guy that's played a lot of football in this league, highly respected across the league, not just here in this organization. A lot would say, with all the injuries he's battled this year and all he's gone through, like, why even try? And it's just such a demonstration of who this man is and his DNA and how unique and uncommon it is. And he feels such an obligation to his teammates, and he has such deep relationships in that locker room that he feels like he's got to play. And if he doesn't play on Sunday, it's not going to be because he didn't turn every stone to try to be available for the fellas in that locker room.
What's your message been to the team this week?
We got to finish. We got to finish, and we got to be proud of the way we finish. So, over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4 years, depending on how long you've been here, you've developed deep relationships in that locker room, within the coaching staff, with the support staff of this building, this organization. Like, honor those relationships in the way that you play and put something on tape that you're going to be really proud of. These moments of adversity, they're gifts, in my opinion, because they really reveal us. When times are good and we're playing well and the record is awesome and we're headed to the playoffs, it's easy to be a great teammate. It's easy to be a good player. It's easy to prepare. It's not easy to prepare when you're losing. It's not easy to prepare when you're out of it. It's not easy to prepare when all the external noise is going on. And for guys to really demonstrate in times like this who they are, I think is powerful going forward.
Have you, the team obviously is looking toward the future and is conducting interviews for GM and coach. Have you gotten any indication that you might be able to talk and interview for this job?
Yeah, I think next week I'll be given an opportunity at some point, and for sure look forward to that. But at the same time, I'm in my feet right now. I've got to finish this season right, and these players deserve everything I have.
Knowing that that's been going on, I know, like you said, you try to focus on this season, which is kind of knowing that this is happening. How do you kind of block that out for you personally?
I just take a deep dive into these guys, and take a deep dive into this preparation.
What have you learned since taking over the job?
What-
The coaching job. What have you learned?
About
Yourself and about the job itself?
it's had me take a hard look at myself in a lot of ways. It's reinforced some things that I really believe in, from a coaching perspective and a leading perspective. It's also put some stuff into question that I look forward to reflecting on and growing from. So I'm not there yet, obviously, in the midst of the whirlwind still, and got to finish this thing right. But definitely, this is going to be a great opportunity for me to step back and really evaluate myself and what happened during this entire opportunity that I had.
There's been a lot of criticism for the culture here.
Yeah.
in the last couple of months. What do you say to that? Or, you're on the inside, all of us are on the outside looking.
I would say this, the culture as far as the process is right. I think these guys understand what it takes to be successful. They put the time in, all those things. I don't think there's a huge flaw in the culture. I don't. I do think there is an element of there has been a lot of losing, and that's hard to overcome, and it gets into you sometimes, and you have to fight this internal narrative sometimes that here we go again, and I think that can exist for some people. It can, and you got to fight it, you got to overcome it, and the only way you really cure it is by winning, and winning on a consistent basis. That will cure everything here. It will, just having some success, a little momentum, and the culture will become what it's supposed to be and what it needs to be.
Does the playoff drought, 14 years, none of you have been here for 14
Right.
years. But does that weigh on this organization? And do you feel that as a coach, and you think the players feel that, the 14 years?
I think the losing does. I don't think the historic losing in that respect does as much. I think it probably affects some people within this building that have been here for the duration of that time. But as far as the players and the coaches, there is pressure. There's always pressure. There's pressure in every organization in professional sports, period. But I don't think there's the added pressure of the drought here. I don't.
You were probably asked this earlier in the week, but Sauce, after Sunday's games, said he thought some guys checked out. Do you get a sense that guys have checked out now that playoffs are out and you're looking ahead to the future?
I took a hard look at the tape. I really did. And not because of his comments, but I took a hard look at the tape because that's what you do in times like this. I said it before, adversity is a gift, and it really reveals people. And I looked hard at this tape. And I especially looked hard when the score got out of whack, and I didn't see anything. I didn't see one human being tapping. I didn't see one guy relenting. I didn't. That's my take on it.
What about DJ Reed saying he's looking forward to free agency, asked by a Buffalo reporter? How do you feel about that with one game left, the player saying he's focused on free agency, but there's still a game to play?
DJ's been a fantastic player for us. He's done a fantastic job. DJ, there's a style of play that we've tried to create here, especially defensively, and he checks all those boxes. And I get there's a level of frustration there, but at the same time, we gotta focus on this game. We just gotta finish. We do.
What has your message been and your policy with your assistant coaches about looking for their next job? Because we all know you can't wait till the last second to look for another job if there's an opening. I know you want to keep your feet where you are now, but these guys have a lot of times families and mortgages.
For sure.
Look out for their career. So what has your position been on guys on your staff looking ahead? Maybe there could be an opening in college or the NFL.
Right. That's an organizational policy. That is above me in that way. So, that's already been addressed with the assistant coaches as far as what the organization's policy is regarding that. And when the time is right, those guys will entertain, all those potential offers or opportunities. But the organization is going to do right by the coaches that are here. I know that.
With shutdown, with the torn back, what's going to be the plan of safety?
Ashton and Tony, yeah. So TA and Ashton will be the safeties, and I love Chuck, and it just breaks my heart that he had another injury like that here, especially for a guy that's been so healthy and been so relied upon for so long. But at the same time, it's an opportunity for Ashton to really get some run at safety, and being that he's a free agent, that can be a powerful thing for a guy like himself. So I look forward to seeing what he can do with this op.